Question 2, Zane Killingsworth. Is that correct?
Yes.
From Dawsonville, Georgia. Wants help securing a new PC. He says, hi, hello. I'm a young PC enthusiast who's getting a new PC in the near future, and I want help with what security software I should get. Well, I think we now know what the answer is going to be, but I thought I was fine with Norton's 360 until I started putting a lot of files on my desktop and read the book Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. I was so shocked by my lack of security that I tried to put Paranoid Linux on my PC. I didn't know there was such a distro. That's funny. But since the book used a version of it on a future Xbox, I thought that, like almost everything in the book, it was real, but it was just a little startup that died. I guess there is no Paranoid Linux. Since then, I've listened to every Security Now podcast to try to be more secure. Also, very happy to say, because of my listening, I've helped my school. I'm homeschooled and take science classes out of my home at a local small school for homeschoolers. I helped them determine that their Wi-Fi network was compromised and helped them pick a new, more secure Wi-Fi router. Yay. So, help me pick a better solution for security, for antivirus, and what other software I need. Steve?
Well, in the beginning of Zane's note, it felt to me like he had gotten himself overly concerned.
Yes.
And so I wanted to address that because I do see that in email and in our news groups, people who really, it's like the concern for security is consuming their life. They're afraid to go out of the house. They're only want to do so between the hours of 11 and 1 when they're sure that the sun won't set too quickly on them. And it's so I just wanted to address that the issue of it being possible to be so concerned about security that you're not having any fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this should be fun. All of the evidence indicates that, there are agencies and individuals and groups that are taking advantage of mistakes being made in the design of our computer technology as it exists today for their own advantage and hurting other people in the process. There's a story that I'm going to share next week about a company, a construction company that is suing a bank because they feel that the bank's security, the logon security, wasn't good enough, and $588,000 was stolen from their account.
Wow!
As a consequence, so I mean, these things do happen, but you really do want to keep some balance, I think. So the idea of not using Windows in favor of something called Paranoid Linux. I know that there are people who enjoy being this focused on security, but I wouldn't ever promote the notion that it's necessary to be this focused on it, because you still want to be able to have the freedom to do what you want to do. I mean, it's a little bit like you, Leo, having a problem with no script or like turning scripting off. There we're sort of in a gray zone. You need to be able to see sites in general that you're reviewing running the way they're meant to by the bulk of the population who do have scripting on. Whereas I and many Security Now listeners have said, wait a minute, I need a little more control. I'm going to turn scripting on selectively. When I notice that there seems to be something wrong, then I'll permit a site to operate. Mm-hmm. So again, you could have somebody who refuses to ever run scripting, but then arguably sites that you need or want to use won't work at all. So I'm thinking, okay, compromise. Yes, unfortunately, scripting is a mixed blessing, but it's one that we need. So anyway, I just sort of want to respond to Zane's. He uses the word paranoia and say, look, don't get yourself too scared about this. I hope that we strike a balance here during this last 216 podcasts of saying, look, here's the issues, here's the facts. We want to let everyone decide for themselves where they fall in this spectrum of really concerned and not concerned at all.
It's very easy to get paranoid about this stuff.
Which Not surprisingly, it takes us to our third question.
And by the way, just to answer his question about what security package, I think it's pretty clear from our conversation at the beginning of the show that Microsoft Security Essentials would be the right choice. Yes.
Until we know otherwise. Yes, I don't want to say anything until the jury's in,
right,
or out, or back, or wherever the jury's going to go. But yes, I have high hopes.
So far, so good.
Yes.